Hello, Gary Crowley here with DoItYourselfJointPainRelief.com, and we are here at video 3 of 3 for a do-it-yourself shin splints treatment, where in video 1 we showed you how to release your tibialis anterior muscle on the front of your shin. We showed you how to release your tibialis posterior on the other side of that shin bone, and hopefully that gave you a great deal of relief from your shin splints. In video 2, we showed you how to release your peroneal muscles on the outer side of your leg, and also how to appropriately stretch your calf muscles so that this whole lower leg can be nice and balanced. And here in video 3, we just want to make sure none of the nerves that basically come out of your low back, run down the side of your leg, and then come over to the front and innervate your shin area. We just want to make sure none of these nerves up here are getting yanked on or pulled on in any particular way to make you feel sensation down here when actually it's tight tissue up here affecting those nerves. So quite simply, I'm going to show you how to stretch your hips from a reclined position, from a seated position, and then I'm just going to show you a great hamstring stretch that can sometimes help release this whole thing too. So here we go. The first thing to just make sure all this stuff is released is we just want to do this reclined hip stretch, and basically what you want to do is, I'll do it this way, cross one leg over the other, and what most people do to try to stretch this area is do that, and that really doesn't do too much. These are big strong muscle groups that you need to kind of give them a good yank to get a stretch on them. So what I have you do is I have you take the same arm of the leg that's crossed, and I have you shoot it over your shin, right? So I kind of pull this leg to me a little bit. This leg pushes it to me, and I shoot that arm over. I reach through, and I grab it, and then I can pull to get a better stretch, or I can just kind of hang out here if that's already a good stretch. If you're not limber enough to do this, if that's all you can do, then you do that. If that's all you can do, then you can do that. And honestly, if that's all you can do, then you do that. But you'll find it will release over time. In a week, you'll be doing that. In another week, you'll be doing that. Week after that, you'll be grabbing that elbow and really feeling that stretch in your hip. So this is a great stretch because you can hang out and chat or watch TV or read a book if you want to. And about 30 seconds here, switch, you can go back and forth, and you'll find they release as each side releases, will give you a little more. Okay, so your reclined hip stretch, that's your reclined. You're seated, you want to basically sit with your legs at 90 degrees, and you just want to lean forward kind of toward your ankle a little bit, and you will tend to feel that maybe here on that very inside part of your thigh, but you should feel it deep in your butt. And again, if you're not that, if you can't get there and you're this tight, well, you just do what you can. And you can pull on the edge of a table, you can grab the leg of a table if it helps pull you over. But over time, if you do this stretch, you will get freer and freer and freer, and then all these nerves and muscles up in here will be freer and more functional, and you will generally experience less pain and a greater ability to function. So you do this side, you switch it up, you do the other side, and as I'm tighter on this side, and as this side lets go a little bit, I'll get more release out of this side. And again, I tend to get more when I go toward my ankle. If I go toward my knee, I don't get too much. And lastly, you never want to feel the stretch in your knee. If you feel it in a torquing in your knee, you want to either move this foot down or move your foot up so that you're not feeling it in your knee. And that is our reclined and seated hip stretch. And lastly, I just want to show you a great hamstring stretch, because when your hamstrings are tight, they can yank on all this. They can yank on the bottom of your pelvis, which makes your L4 and L5 have to kind of contract to pull back. So we just want to make sure that everything's as free as possible so those nerves running down here aren't getting yanked on. So here is how to stretch your hamstrings. Okay, so the last thing we want to do to make sure those nerves in your low back are not being negatively affected and causing you to experience pain in your shin is we just want to make sure your hamstrings are pretty free so that they're not yanking on your pelvic bones and thereby causing your low back to tense up as it tries to resist that tension from your hamstrings. So I have a very simple hamstring stretch. It's the best and most effective one I've found over the years. And basically, all you want to do is, I like doing it barefoot. You can do it with shoes on if you want, but with the weight in the balls of your feet here, all you really want to do is you just want to drop forward, and just let your body go to where it would naturally go without you really trying to force it. Just with your body weight, you go to here, and again, my weight is in the balls of my feet, and when you get this, you'll generally feel a gentle stretch back here. Once you're there, I want you to flex your quads, these big muscles on the front of your thighs. I want you to flex your quads and force yourself deeper down into the stretch. So you flex your quads, you force yourself deeper down into the stretch. Your legs are straight. Don't cheat. There's no benefit in cheating. Just keep them straight. If they're straight and you go to here, then that's fine. If you can only go to here, keep those legs straight, flex those quads, force the stretch, you go to here. If you naturally go to here, weight in the balls of your feet always, flex those quads with those legs straight. If you go to here, that's fantastic. What you will feel when you do this stretch is you will feel a stretch all the way up the whole back side of your body, basically up to your low back. So me, now that I did that stretch, now I naturally just drop to here. A second ago I was to here. So now I drop to here, and weight in the balls of my feet, legs straight, flex those quads as hard as I can, and then for about 10 seconds, now that's a great stretch. I haven't done that in a little while. I should probably do it a little more. If you can only do it for 3 seconds, engaging your quads, then you do it for 3 seconds. If you can only do it for 5, then you do it for 5. If you can get to do it 10 to 15 seconds, you'll feel a whole nother level of release. You can't do this stretch too much. You could do, 10 times a day. You could do 3 little sets of that, and very quickly, in a week or two, you'd notice your hamstrings are much freer. Actually, probably if you had low back issues, anything else would probably be feeling a lot better. And any issues you have with your shin splints, at least you'll be sure they're not being caused by the stuff up in your lower back. So now, here at the end of video 3 of 3, I want you to take a second and just review. Think back to video 1. How much relief did you get from your shin splints with those techniques? Probably you got a lot, because those are the 2 main culprits. On video 2, notice which techniques seem to work the best, and how much benefit you got from video 3 here. And also, just because it's such a wonderful stretch for everything in your body, notice how tight you were here just in general. Even if your shin splints were already gone by the time you got here, if you notice that you're pretty tight here, you add this stretch to your repertoire, and not only will you probably function a lot better out there when you're doing things, but you'll be less inclined to get injured in the future. So that's video 3. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and I look forward to hearing how it goes. Thank you.